but then I spent much of my life living in Colombia and then in Peru.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's where I studied special education and discovered the passion that I have that is helping children and families. Uh,
hello. Welcome back to all my Courage, Confidence, and Connections podcast fans. This is Janice Debo, your host, and I have a marvelous guest today. You get to learn all about what she does and how she got to where she does what she does. Welcome, Carla.
thank you, Janice.
You are welcome. So glad we finally made this happen. And where are you coming to us from?
I live in Seattle.
Oh, you're just north of me. Okay. Very, very
That's right.
good. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. And you have a very interesting occupation or business. Is your business a nonprofit?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Well, I like to be clear on that just so when we talk about it, people can know if they're able to help in some way. So we'll get into that. Did you grow up in Seattle?
No, I grew up in Houston.
Oh my goodness. Texas girl. How did you get to Seattle?
Well, I was born in Houston, but then I spent much of my life living in Colombia and then in Peru.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's where I studied special education and discovered the passion that I have that is helping children and families. Um, so after almost 30 years in Peru, we came to Seattle because my husband, he got hired here at the Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center.
oh.
And I was very happy to come home. And I love it here. It's really nice.
Oh, that's great. So you grew up in Houston, and I take it as an adult is when you moved down to Peru.
I was around 15 when I
Oh,
moved to Peru. So from 10 to 15, Colombia, and then to Peru.
I imagine you're bilingual if you live down there.
Yep.
Maybe multilingual, right?
Yep.
Oh, oh, that's good. That's good. Now you got your degree in special education. What was that like in a foreign country? How did that impact you?
It was very interesting. Just knowing different cultures and different ways of thinking, I think is very enriching.
Hmm.
And I got that from everywhere I've lived. From Houston, I have the best memories growing up in Houston. And then in Colombia, I got really, really great friends. I had a difficult time there. My parents got divorced there, so that's one of the hardest times of my life that I can remember. And but I was able to make really important and significant friends.
Good.
Then in Peru, um, I received a kidney transplant, so there was another major
Wow.
event for me. Um,
Wow.
it was I received a kidney from my brother,
Hmm.
my donor. Yeah. So that was almost 19 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is pretty major. And as you know, the subject is courage, confidence, and connection. So I'd say you had to be very courageous in a foreign country, going to school, and then needing a transplant.
Yes, it was it was a ride.
Wow, that is something. And you said you've been back here 19 years?
No, 5 years here in Seattle. It's almost 19 years from my kidney transplant.
Oh,
So I
man.
will eventually need another one,
Mm.
maybe in a couple of years. But it's been very nice to me. I have been very nice to him. We've been taking care of each other.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I have never been through anything like that, but I know it's your body's got to have time to adjust and go through a lot of different scenarios, but wow. Now, did you teach down in Peru?
I did. Yeah. I was a teacher for 23 years back in Peru in a British school.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. In a British school in Peru. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to wrap my head around that. Now,
Mhm.
did you taught special ed?
Well, I taught children that had difficulties with executive function skills.
Ah,
And yeah, so, and kids that struggled with organization, time management, focus, follow through,
okay.
um, reading, writing. So that was I was teaching third grade for a very long time.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
they probably don't call it special ed these days because
No.
my mother taught special ed, but that's what it was called back then.
hmm
So what is it called now?
Um, executive function challenges.
Oh, okay. Gotten fancy with that name, haven't
Yeah.
but that's good. That's good. Now, that was preparing you all along for what you're doing now. And what you're doing is quite fascinating, but I'm not going to spill the beans. That's what you're here for. And so before you spill the beans, what else prepared you in your life to step into what you're doing now?
Um, I think that everything I have been through shaped my life to what I'm doing today. I'm I have two daughters.
Mhm.
One has ADHD, and I have then walked the walk with her because it has not been an easy journey. It has been challenging for both of us, actually. So, and it was also very difficult for me to be able to help her because I don't know why. Um, when 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 we're kids, it's not easy to listen to parents.
Right.
So I had to hire somebody else to help me to become that bridge between my daughter and myself. And that's what I do now. So I am that bridge, that hinge between parents and kids um, to help them with their independence, with their organization, with everything that parents want to help with that kids won't listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What ages do you work with?
Basically, teenagers 12 and up.
Hmm.
Yeah, 12 and up.
I think that's probably the most difficult age to get a kid to listen to a parent as a
Yeah,
teenager. Yeah.
very
Rebellion
difficult.
sets in.
Yep, you're right.
Oh my goodness. Now let's dig into a little bit and let's talk about extensively about what you do and how that all works. What is the name of your business for our audience?
It's ADHD executive function system.
Okay. Okay. Another long name, but that's good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and at the beginning it was just ADHD teens, but then I don't work only with kids that have ADHD. I work with kids that have challenges with it with executive function with executive function skills. So if it doesn't really matter if they have ADHD or not, if they are diagnosed or not.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you become the bridge. So I would imagine you spend time with the parents as well as the kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I have a living document where parents can read what goes on during our sessions
Okay.
with their kids. So they know exactly what's going on.
Right. So what does that look like as in a day-to-day scenario with you having a session with a teenager? What can you give some examples without, you know, saying privacy issues and stuff?
Sure. So my coaching isn't it's not tutoring, it's not therapy. It happens in real life. So alongside a student's actual homework,
Hmm.
um, we work on their deadlines, missing assignments,
Okay.
communication challenges, responsibilities, any responsibilities that they might have. So if a student is struggling to start the homework,
Hmm.
we address that
Okay.
right there. If they're having difficulty emailing a teacher, we do it together.
Oh,
Yeah, if they're overwhelmed by a project, say, we'll break it down.
okay.
If they're feeling frustrated with a parent or with a friend or with a teacher, we will work through it. We will talk about it in the moment. And that's what makes my coaching honest and practical and immediately applicable.
Oh, okay. Okay. What is a good success story, Carla, that you've had with one of your clients that you can share without, like I said, privacy issues, but just an example of a good success story?
Yeah. Well, I had one student that she wanted an allowance, but she didn't know how to ask her parents about this. The communication was better with her mother than with her father. So we started rehearsing how she would speak to her father. That was one part. The
Okay.
other part is that we made an Excel to see what expenses she had and how much money she would ask for because
Oh,
we needed to be clear on the goal that we were working on. So we had that amount and then we said, okay, so say it's this X amount, let's add maybe $30 just in case that amount will come down a little bit. Um, so we did that and we rehearsed and we rehearsed and she finally felt the confidence to go and speak to her father. While this was happening, parents knew what was going on because they had the living document. So that was positive because it wasn't a surprise for them.
mm-hmm.
And then when she went to her father, she spoke to him, and they talked about it. They figured the amounts, and father said yes. Where he agreed to that, her confidence boosted because she was able to become independent responsibly. And this also helped with the relationship at home as well.
That's fantastic. That
Yeah.
gave her a lot more courage to step in and step up and ask her father because I know that can be scary in
Hmm.
regardless of the home situation. And
Yeah.
yeah, what other examples can you give our audience that might help them to see how they can benefit from what you do?
Let's see. Most of the teens that come to me feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. They often feel that they know that they are bright and they are capable and full of potential, but they feel stuck. So when we start working, slowly things start to shift. They start opening their planners or we start creating their calendars. They begin their assignments earlier. They start following their routines. They start communicating more effectively. They start believing they can succeed. And little by little, their confidence starts to grow. But one of the biggest transformations doesn't happen at school. It happens at home. And that's what most of parents tell me. They stop feeling like the homework police. That's what parents usually feel like. Like arguments also become conversations. and communication improves, and home becomes calmer.
That's that's really phenomenal to see those transitions, I imagine.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I
It's
yeah, I don't I had my older brother had epilepsy from the time he was 11, I think.
oh,
And that shifted all the dynamics in the house. And my mother was a teacher. I think she started in 6th grade. She wound up eventually being in the special ed. Uh,
mhm.
and and she just loved working with the special needs children at whatever age she had. That was her, she loved it. As it turns out, I've got a nephew from that older brother who is special needs and he's an adult now, but it does open your eyes to a completely different, you know, functioning. I've got friends that have real high needs, high need kids, and yeah, the parents deal with a lot of stress. Now, you're working with the kids. Do you have coaching sessions with the parents?
I do. I
Okay.
have a program that it's 36 sessions with the students and 4 sessions with parents. So it's 40 in total. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great. Because, and so you're opening windows and doors of communication that had been probably slammed shut by a lot of families. And
True.
because a lot of us grew up, we didn't know what the expression being heard was, but we didn't feel heard or seen. Back when I was growing up, as kids were meant to be heard, I mean seen, not heard. So you don't have your voice. And and if you don't have it at home, when you get out into the world, it's a completely ch huge challenge to be able to communicate. uh, so I really admire what you do to help families get beyond those hurdles.
Yeah. Thank you, Janice. And what I teach them is that success isn't perfection, it's independence. And that's what I want to teach them, independence. It's when your kid learns how to plan, how to start, how to follow through, not because someone is telling you all the time to do this, but because they're trusting themselves to do it. And I often tell my students, maturity isn't wanting freedom. Maturity is handling the responsibility
Mm,
because they say, yeah, they want more things, right? But it's hand in hand, right? Real independence doesn't come from having fewer rules. It
mhm.
comes from learning how to manage commitments, responsibilities, choices without someone constantly overseeing you.
Right. Well, you're training the future generation and and how to function in real life, because if we don't learn that at home, you're not going to learn it at school. You're only going to learn so much. And training them for being able to function when they step out the door to go to college or whatever they do, it gives them the opportunity to learn and be, like you said, independent, but
Mhm.
still connect with their families.
Exactly.
Yeah. So those are great. So I want another success story. I love stories. I'm a storyteller. So I want another success story for our audience.
Well, I'm going to tell you my favorite one is
Okay.
my daughter's.
Oh,
Um, so she had a lot of challenges in school with her ADHD. It was very hard for her to focus, and school wasn't easy. Now she is 21. She is living in Florida. She's working, and she plans on studying, um, start studying next year, and she's doing great.
oh,
I always thought in my head it was always a huge worry for me. Is this kid going to be okay? And she's okay. And I have goosebumps every time I say it, but it's a relief just to know that if I could have fast forward several years ago
mm,
and avoid all the tension that I was feeling, that would have been helpful because I guess I should have had a little bit more faith in everything I was I was doing for her and helping her out. But she's great. She's doing great.
So she was your first client.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The hardest.
Yeah, the hardest. Well, yeah, that's family stuff. Now, how did you transition? What was it like transitioning from being a teacher to doing your own thing?
Well, it's not very different. I am still working as a teacher while I'm coaching,
Yeah.
right? So the difference is that now everything is online.
Mm,
I'm not in a classroom anymore. Um, I do miss that, but I'm because of my kidney transplant, I am immunosuppressed,
oh,
and because of the immunosuppression, I can get sick very easily.
yeah.
So I'm taking care of myself now, and I'm enjoying this part of my life. I like it. It's also easier for me because it's easier for me to get into my kids' home because they share their screen. And if we have to clean the room, if we have to um, check their desks and see if they need anything to start, or if we need to clean it before we start, we do that. I can see their portals when they share their screen. We work based on that, and we will transfer all the information from their school portals to their Google calendars, and then add to their Google calendars any extra activities that they have. So it's been it's been really nice. I like it.
Yeah. So they're getting prepared for the real world in a lot of ways, a whole
Yes.
lot of ways. So I think it's funny, something that caught my attention. You said if they need to clean their room. I bet the parents love that. I bet they just love that because we know teenagers are messy. Now I was not perfect, but I still don't like clutter. And I think as a kid, I just had to pick up after my siblings, and I'm like, mm-mm. So yeah, I bet the parents just bow down and worship you if the kid cleans the room. Oh,
Especially with them not having to say it.
oh, yeah, that has to be one of the challenges because you see in the movies and probably in real life, and teenage girls walk in or boys and throw one clothes one, and this goes there and that goes there, the backpack somewhere else. So that is great because you're addressing a lot of real world stuff.
Yes, and I speak with parents before we start the coaching, and I ask for 5 goals that they think are important for their children. And then I ask my kids 5 goals. And sometimes they overlap,
Oh,
but I try to work on all of these goals, and just seeing them improve and come to life is amazing. And because I teach, I have my kids 3 times a week for accountability. You can see the change pretty quickly.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is great. What's your favorite age between 12 and 18 that you work with? Do you have one?
Oh my gosh. Maybe both ends because the 12-year-olds are just learning how to use the platforms and start working with their Google calendars or any calendars that they have. So that's very nice, just eye-opening for them. I also like the transition from high school to college.
Oh,
That's a nice one. Yeah. It's because it's all the last things that they really need to learn, that they feel they need to learn, parents and kids,
hmm,
because this is like the last chance, right? This is it. I mean, you are moving, you're not at home anymore. You're gonna start doing your things on your own independently. So what's missing? So
yeah,
that's what we address. What's missing?
yeah, yeah, because that is a huge transition, high
It is.
school to college, and Oh my goodness. I remember sort of. I mean, it's been a long time. I'm not saying how long, audience. You're not getting that out of me. But um, so I remember it. I kind of remember the old family station wagon loading up my stuff and hauling it to the dorm room. And I went and I roomed with a high school pal. So I knew her, and that was helpful. We went to the same school and all. But yeah, and I was always an independent kid. Now, do you find personalities, let's say an independent kid versus somebody who is maybe codependent, how do you work with to help them stand, to be more independent? And if they are, I don't like not necessarily codependent, but more needy or whatever.
So what we do is I work, there are three sessions. The first one is a one-on-one, and the next two are in groups, if I can find a nice group for them.
Okay.
Um, and what we do is, so from the beginning, I do not judge them. It's they come to me with whatever goal they have. And so that's what makes it easy to deal with separate um, traits in individuals, because whatever each person has is what we are working on, and we start wherever they start. So if they're more dependent than others, um, maybe when we're together in a group meeting,
Mhm.
they can learn from others that are already doing something else, so they can look up to that.
Good.
But if not, we are always addressing the moment,
Hmm.
what they need at that time. And we have a chart, so they start very low in that goal, and then every 2 to 3 weeks we look at that chart again, and I ask them, so where do you feel you're now? And they are growing, so we change the number, we put a new date, we add a new date, and it's a different color as well, so they see their growth and
Oh,
they feel proud of that.
oh, good. And I can imagine they're elated when they achieve a goal and they get to set another one. Because I work with my clients on goals, and honestly, I don't think a lot of people learn that growing up. I didn't. I just kind of flowed through life. We just kind of bump into hurdles and keep going. But as adults, unless you're taught about, goals, or what is your vision? What do you want to do? What is your passion? And it's really amazing how many people would love to have had this type of help earlier on in life versus waiting till we're in our 40s or 50s going, what am I doing? And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm telling you what, there are a lot of coaches out there, but having the opportunity to work with families like you do is very unique. And I've never heard of anybody that does what you do before we met.
Yeah, yeah, we were talking about that. And yeah, when parents come to me, they're kind of hopeless. And I tell them, don't lose hope. Your child, he's not lazy, he's not broken. Resilience can be learned.
Yep.
Structure can be built.
Hmm.
Confidence can grow. And yeah, I say this as a teacher, I say it as a coach, and I say it as a mother who has walked this journey herself. Keep your eyes open to blessings, because I truly, truly believe that things happen for a reason, even when we don't understand that
Yeah.
the reason is right, or right for us, or if you want to question it, it's at
Mm.
the end you'll see that it's a blessing.
Yeah, I imagine you see a lot of smiles as after you work with them for a while and see the growth. And the parents just have to love what you do when they've been struggling so much.
It's very nice.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Well, you've got a very unique business. So we'll make sure everybody has your information. How are people currently finding you, Carla? Or are you finding them?
They're finding me through Google. They're finding me through pediatricians over here in Seattle. But yeah, mostly through Google. They can find me there.
Okay, that's great. Well, what we'll do is we'll have all of your contact information and more information about you. We'll talk about that off air. But everything that our guest and our uh, podcast listeners, watchers can get is what will be available at the end of the broadcast. And I'm like, I'm doing too many podcasts this week. I'm like, my tongue, I'm going to have to practice my tongue. Yeah, I've got a bunch this week, so I'm doing a lot of different things. But I want to
Wonderful.
any parting words for our audience as we wrap this up? Any wisdom, anything you want to share that you feel is inspiration or just in general?
Yeah, Chuck, just talking about what we were talking before, that see, one of the practices that has helped me through some of the hardest moments of my life is something very simple. Whenever something isn't going the way I hoped, I quietly repeat to myself, it's good, it's good, it's good. And not because the situation is easy and not because I enjoy the challenge, but because I trust that there is something for me to learn, something for me to gain, or some way that I will grow through it. And that mindset has carried me through illness, uncertainty, loss, and many of life's unexpected turns. It's been one of my secrets every single day of my life.
I think that's very good words to wrap up on because we all have challenges and you know people nobody can say well you don't know what you're talking about because you've
Mm-hmm.
lived it. You've walked it, talked it, and lived it. So you definitely have the wisdom to help so many people. And I got people coming to mind now that I'm thinking I got to connect you with. So
Thank you,
but, uh,
Janice.
but thank you so much for being my guest, Carla. And we're going to wrap it up. Audience, thanks for watching. And you'll be able to contact Carla C. She's ready and waiting to make a difference in your family's lives and help those kids get on their way. Stay tuned for another Courage, Confidence, and Connections podcast. Janice Debo, your host, signing off.